Hello, welcome back. Now, I thought I would go through all of my self-tape equipment and things that I've been using throughout my years of self-taping in hopes if I show you guys, then it might give you an idea of some things that you might be missing, some things you might like, or just learn from what I've used throughout the years and how it's got to where it is today. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and here we go with the video. Woo! So when I first started self-taping, I had no idea and I just videotaped on my phone at that current time. I used, as we've said before, the natural lighting, just as plain background as I could, and then just tried to make it work. And I didn't have a tripod or anything to balance it on, so I think we've all been there trying to play buckaroo on books, on shelves, you name it. I think we've all been there at one point, and still actually to this day, but yeah. My setup was quite simple, literally just a phone and start recording, and that was pretty much it. The first hack is if you don't have natural lighting and you're quite like me and you film at night, literally see if you can get hold of some desk lamps. I've done a lot of my self-tapes to start with, just balancing a desk lamp, basically just at my face, and it worked quite nicely. Mainly the white lights worked quite good, the yellow lights were a bit off. Second hack. When you're filming with your phone, make sure you don't record it in the selfie mode, because basically the quality will come out a lot worse. Whereas if you use your front camera phone, it will come out in a better quality. All you have to do is try and time when you press record, have to make sure you're all lined up and kind of hope for the best. But the quality will be so much better, and that's pretty much what I would try and do at the beginning, because I didn't realise how bad the quality was. That could have partially been down with the phone quality, but yeah, if you use your phone, don't use the selfie mode. Also, I find that it did help me when I was actually performing, because when I was on selfie mode, I would sometimes get distracted by myself by looking at the side and be like, oh. So it helps you with your performance a bit, focusing on your eye line. So as you've all probably been there and might be there already, I got quite fed up of balancing my phone on ledges, on books, and it falling mid-take. It was getting pretty frustrating. But I wanted something that was pretty small, I could move around, take with me, and didn't take a lot of space up in the flat. So I decided to get a phone tripod. Now this one's pretty great. You can use it for cameras, phones, you name it. As long as you have the little phone attachment, you're all set to go. It's very simple. You just twist it in, pop it out, make sure it's straight, and Bob's your uncle. It's really good. Now this was really helpful because it made sure that I could film all of my stuff landscape. But after a while, when I started to use this mount, I felt like it wasn't perfect for my phone, and I wanted something that was a bit more appropriate and was a lot better quality. So I invested in this phone mount which you can put on the tripod that I already bought, which was perfect, and you pretty much just screw it from the top. It will open up, put your phone in, and then you just close it again to clamp it in place. And it was so good. The one I got, you can either get like a red or a black, but I just thought it looked so slick. It was so put together and small, and just, yeah, the perfect thing for me to just chuck it in my bag if I needed to, or keep it out of sight at home. I really do like this one, and it is one of my favourites that I've bought over the years, just because it's so compact, small, travel able, that's not a word. Yeah. You can take it with you really easily. It really helped me with my self-tapes, and I do recommend it, and it's really affordable as well, and the longevity of it, like, it still works now, and it's great if I need to take it with me whenever. So the thing that I bought was a ring light with a stand, and it also came with like an orange colour as well I could use if the lighting wasn't quite bright enough and it needed to be warmed up a little bit. And I used that for quite a long time, until this year actually. It's always been my go-to, and I've always been a sucker for that little light in your eye. But yeah, I really loved it for a long time. So it pretty much got me through all of my self-tapes throughout my years. And what's quite nice about this ring light is you can adjust the brightness. So if you do have natural lighting or it is too bright, you can dim it down a bit. If you're filming at night, as you can guess, you can brighten it up a bit. Just make sure you don't have it too bright, because sometimes it can wash you out a bit if it is too bright and just kind of flash out all your features. You don't want that. It's trying to find the nice perfect for you and your skin tone. So the durability of my ring light is pretty good. It's lasted me several years actually now, but the stand is a little bit wonky and the legs are a bit, they start to like, what's the word? They start to like slide out a little bit because I guess they're just getting loose. But it's been a great asset, and the cable's really long, so it is a good one to have. And you can also get mini ones. You can get little ones for your desk if you're traveling, things like that. They're really cool. And this one comes with a bag as well, and yeah, I do recommend if this is something that you like and you like the image of. So actually filming my self-tapes, I still used my phone. I just got newer upgrades of iPhones, or if I could, I was still the other half's iPhone because he always had the latest upgrade, so I would try and sneak the phone every now and again. But yeah, it was pretty much just going through all the iPhones over the year, and the quality got a little bit better, as you can guess, over time. So now I was all set up with a camera and some lighting, I thought the next thing to invest in is a good microphone, because sound and audio is one of the most important things as well. So I decided to buy a Rode mic. Now I bought one that could be compatible for iPhones as well as cameras, because I desired to get one along the lines, or eventually, but at least this one was great for me because I could just buy the adapter, and it got me through so much through all of my self-tapes and has made the quality so much better. What you're hearing now is actually through the travel Rode mic. So yeah, I really do love it, and it's a great one to have. It's pretty affordable, I must say, and it's very small, it's easy to put together, doesn't take long, and I really recommend it. Oh, a little heads up actually, because I couldn't figure out initially, when you plug it in and you record a self-tape, and you know when you want to watch it back, make sure you take it out, because when it's in, you can't hear any of the audio. I don't know why. I only found this on the iPhone. But yeah, so don't panic if you can't hear the audio, it's because it's still plugged in. But the audio does work. I really do think it's a good investment, and it's done me so well. I really do recommend it to everyone who's asking about sounds. And if you're considering on getting a camera down the line like a DSLR, then this is kind of perfect because it's compatible with a lot. So I use a Canon and it works perfectly with that. So yeah, I really do recommend it. So after using iPhones for several years, now I use a Canon 20D. Now this was a bit of a pain to get hold of. There wasn't many people selling it in the UK. Yeah, I don't know why, it might be not running anymore, but there's similar models. I'll link some down below that are quite similar, but I like this one because it has like a rotating screen, so if I'm recording on my own like I am now, I can see myself and make sure that I'm lined up and hopefully in frame. But yeah, there's several cameras just like this that you can get if you want like flip out screens, and are great quality and great for self-tapes. And I just use the standard lens that it comes with. It does a great job, and it's pretty much got me through all of my self-tapes till this day. It's just over time I've tweaked other assets, but yeah, it's been great and I absolutely love it. So next up is lighting. Now I used my ring light, as I said, for several years, but I started to not like it anymore because I didn't like the artificial look in my eyes, and I wanted to just invest in my studio, so I thought, what's the next thing to get? Now a lot of people do recommend LED lights, but for me, I couldn't part with that much money at the moment. Some of them, they are pretty expensive, and because I'm slowly investing in all of my equipment, I just couldn't part ways with that much money right now. So I was like, okay, what's the next best thing? And it's softbox lights. Now these are great, they're extremely bright, they're easy to pop up and to take down. Granted, I don't really take them down a lot, and I was warned that most people can't be bothered to take them back down, but if you can put them in the corner of a room and they're out of sight slightly, they are so great. I'm filming with them right now, so I use one in front and one just to the side of me on the opposite side of the face, so it kind of gives like a cinematic look. So this side is lit, that side is lit. Yes, I'm not the most technical with my wording, but yeah, it's been really good. But then I was recommended online to put it at the back because it will light it a little bit better. But yeah, these are great. They're so easy to pop up and use, and yeah, not much else. I really do like them. I will say, when I first got these lights and I looked over my self-tapes, I did feel like they were a little bit blue. Like the colour grading was a little bit off. I didn't mind initially, but since I've started to do my YouTube stuff, I didn't really like the feel of it and I wanted to try and improve on it. So the things that I changed for that is actually the camera settings. So I would just say play around with that. I'll get into that in a little bit. But it's just a little note to say that they can come out a little bit blue, but it's quite easy fixable. And it still looks good. So far I've updated my camera, my lighting, and next thing that I want to invest in is my backdrop. Now there's nothing wrong with a plain wall, but I found that most of the time I didn't have a plain wall, or it didn't give the right feel that I wanted to. I basically just wanted to up my game and make it look that kind of next step of professional and hopefully look the part a bit more. Of course this isn't essential, but I just really love the look of different backdrops, so I invested in these. So initially I got the smaller sizes because obviously they're more affordable and they are cheaper. But I found that when I actually got them and I started doing self-tapes with them, it was really hard to get the framing right. It was so tight because obviously you're trying to film landscape. I felt that you could always sometimes see the edges in the corners, and I used to get really frustrated with it. So I learned from that after buying them. I still use them, but after that I decided to invest in a much bigger one. And that's what I mainly use now. So I use the grey background because it kind of gives a nice feel to it. I don't know, I don't have the right words. I really like it though. And then on the other side, I picked one that has a green screen on it. This has been great for our live streams, and my other half used it quite a bit and he was using it for work. And if I ever need it for any green screen stuff. So yeah, I really do like this one. But other great colours, and I still recommend the other ones. You just have to faff around a little bit. But you got the white and black one and whatever other sides you feel that you need. What I've kind of learned over the years is just having a plain, simple, neutral colour as your background. If you start touching like the blues and greens, they are kind of more used for commercial base, especially American kind of stuff. They use or like the blue screen a lot. But again, it's just personal preference. Whichever one you like and it complements you, go for that one. But I will pre-warn you, you'll probably spend a little bit of time faffing around trying to get it closed again, but you will get the hang of it. It just might pop out and smack you every now and again, because that hasn't happened to me. Nope. But yeah, they are good and they pack away quite nicely. With the backdrop, I also got the stand. Well, my other half got the stand, but anyway, it's mine. Sharing is caring. Yes, so the one that we got is a magnetic one. So with all the backdrop frames, you literally just stick it next to it and it will magnetize to it. It's so great and saves you so much time. It stays, it's durable. They're really, really good. I do recommend them. So they are a good thing to invest in if you want just the simplicity of just popping it up and it sticks to it. Now, to make my life a little bit easier when recording and trying to see the camera myself, or being really, really close up like this and I can't see because my eyesight is terrible, I actually discovered an app which works with Canon cameras. I'm sure if you looked in other cameras, they might have something similar, but the one I got is, this one has been great because once you've connected to your camera, to your phone, you can literally see the screen of your phone. So you can start, you can stop, you can take photos. It's really, really good, and you can adjust a couple of settings. This one is a little bit slow, but it does save time and it's really good. Just be patient and it will work. The only thing I'll say is sometimes it stops if your phone locks. I might have a little bit of trouble logging back in or connect to the Wi-Fi and blah blah blah. But overall it is really good and it saved me a lot of time and to double check if I'm still in frame or not. So that is a big help if you're self-taping on your own, because I would say 90% of the time I'm doing it on my own. Now, before I go on, I do just quickly want to say, if you are looking at all these products and they're looking a little bit expensive, honestly, I get that. But just consider that I got these over time, literally like over a year or two, because it does cost a lot of money. So I just made sure to prioritize what I needed the most. So for me, for example, I mainly do my self-tapes at night, and the lighting was always kind of terrible and it was really hard for me to get natural lighting. So that was quite an important thing for me to get. So same for you, if there's something in particular that you feel that is lacking the most, I would personally recommend investing in that first. So that way that is upgraded a bit and then your standard is even better than it was before, and you just keep doing that. You just do little steps each time when you can afford it, and slowly you'll get to a point that you're really happy with your setup. I would say I am, but I think the next thing I want to invest in is a newer stand. One that can do portrait photos. Yeah, there's always something I want to improve. I don't know if that's just me, but yeah. But staggering out all the prices does make it a bit more realistic and affordable. I would say shop around and just keep an eye out on any deals. For example, with my softboxes, I got them on Amazon when there was a deal going on, and I pretty much got them for like half price. So just keep an eye out on those things, and if you can wait for it, do, because it does save you a bit of money, and I'm all for saving as much money as I can. But yeah, shop around a little bit, see what other websites say, make sure you check the reviews and they are actually good products, and yeah, go for it. But if not, I will link all of the things that I've got or something similar down below, so it makes it a little bit easier to find it. But if you are buying from certain websites, do double check the delivery date, because often if they are cheaper, they might take a lot longer to arrive. I think one of our items, we were literally waiting for like 3-4 months or something. So if you can wait, then obviously pay for the cheaper ones. But if you are buying off like Amazon and things like that, you get the luxury of it being with you within a week or so. But don't be afraid to ask your friends what they're using. A lot of the time when you're on social media, you'll see someone set up and go, oh, I really like that, what do they use? Just ask them. And the last and latest thing that I've bought recently is a new lens, which is what I'm using right now for my camera. To be fair, so far this one I don't think is appropriate for self-tapes, just because it's a 30mm, so it's a little bit closer. And actually I haven't dabbled it within a self-tape, so I can't, what's the word? I can't really answer that question. I might have a little test on one of the self-tapes. But it's great for my videos, and I really like the aesthetic that it gives to these YouTube videos so far. But that was the last thing I actually invested in, just to up my kind of YouTube game. And yeah, I like the look. But yeah, but I'll test it on my self-tapes and I'll let you know if it's any good. But I just normally use the standard kit that came with the Canon, and that worked pretty well. And you might not think of this one, but I do think it can help with your finished product and the way it looks, is how you edit it. Now initially I used to just edit it on my laptop, which I think it was like Movie Maker. I used to just snip the beginning, end, whatever I needed to, and that will be my final video. And I know a lot of people who use like phone editing apps, and yeah, they're all pretty good. It's just what works for you. But for the past few years, I personally use Adobe Premiere Pro for all of my editing, whether right now it's my YouTube stuff or pretty much all of my self-tapes or doing my show reels and things like that. Over the years I've learned it, I've got a little bit better at it, and it is pretty simple. For the simple stuff of cropping it, changing it, exporting it, it's pretty good. I do recommend it. But I know there's like Movie Maker, I think that's the word. I'll pop it up here because clearly I can't remember. But yeah, there's a few different programs you can use if you are able to get your hands on it. See if you are studying, see if your school can provide it, see if any of your family and friends can get hold of it and they have it too and you can use it. Do that. But this is definitely something that I've played around a bit, especially more right now, is colour grading it, white balancing it, things like that. Of course you should do your white balancing in your camera, and I will say if you can, try and get off your manual mode and start learning your camera. This is a note to myself as well. Gemma, you need to learn more of this too. So the editing could be like a finishing touch to your self-tape. Now this is something that I've been personally working on through the past couple months, to be honest. You might have actually noticed throughout my YouTube videos so far that the colours have slightly changed. I'm still finding my feet, but it's something that I'm learning and experimenting with. For example, I'm playing around with like the colour grading and all those types of settings to make sure that it's not too bright, not too dark, that I don't look quite blue or I'm flushed out, things like that. It's just playing around with those little things. Of course it helped getting off the manual mode and playing around with the settings, but once I fully colour graded, I'm terrible at terms. Once I white balanced it and played around with the saturation a little bit, it helped a lot, and it's made me love the softboxes even more. As much as editing can't completely change the quality of your video, it can help it just slightly to make sure that your skin tone looks a lot more natural and what it does in person, and just to brighten it up a little bit, whatever you kind of need to do. It's a nice little finishing touch on your self-tapes if you have the time. And as this is something that I'm still learning, if you yourself have any good tips or tricks about the editing process or literally anything else, please let me know, because I love to learn more about this sort of thing. So yeah, if you spot something that shouldn't be like it, let me know in the comments. Now, as much as I've gone on about all the different equipment that I've loved and changed and developed over the years, as much as I will recommend them, at the end of the day, it's not essential to have all of the latest equipment or spend the most money on them, because it isn't entirely essential and the reason why you're going to be casted. The casting directors and the directors and so on are looking at you. As long as they can see you clearly, as long as they can hear you clearly, that is the most important thing at the end of the day, because they are watching you perform. And that's what you're going to get casted on. You're not going to get casted on your setup and your self-tape. Me personally, of course, I think it looks a bit more professional and a little bit clearer put together, but that's just how I like to put myself across. It's not the be-all end-all, and don't feel like you have to spend so much money on all of these sorts of things if you don't want to. And if you can't invest in it, that's okay. It's all about doing what you can do and working with what you got, because they understand. It's just, for me, I've really enjoyed learning and developing my skills behind the camera and just getting a bit hands-on with that sort of thing. And I have got a lot of use out of it, and it's been worth the money. So for me, it's been great. So that's it. That is all of the equipment that I've used throughout my years so far. Years, oh, I'll make it sound so long. That's what I've used throughout my time so far, self-taping, and I hope that it's helped you a little bit. So if you've used any of these things, or you're planning on investing any of the products I've mentioned or anything else, please let me know, as I'd love to see your setup and what it looks like. But of course, I'll leave everything in the description down below so you can find everything with ease. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do hope to see you in my next one, which will come out in 2 weeks on a Sunday at 2 p.m. What's it called? GMT? It's gonna make me look really stupid. British time! British! God, I need to get better with these outros. Thank you for watching, and if you got this far, make sure you give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe. Alright, take care, and have a good day. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Focus on me. Okay. Okay. Why do we look so blue? It looks okay. Does it look okay? I think so. Okay. I think it is okay. So, what's up, guys? What's up, bro? What's up? All you can see is my back. Tips and tricks, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tips and tricks, don't do that. Don't do that. I found it mighty handy. A lot of my weed. Okay, stop snatching. I can make sure that it wasn't. Ugh. I really do like this one. It's done me a world of good. The longevity. Before. And if you do get any of these items, do let me know.